Okay,
Did you take over the screen?
not yet. Shall I?
Feel free.
Okay, I'll do the homework first, then mandala.
Up to you.
Let's just do mandala now. Sashibuki from Virabingshirnandegen Padi Sange Shindu Mitte Orwagi Roku Namdak Shingla Jupasho Iram Guru Ratna Mandala Kamiriataya Changi Churang Soki Choknama Changchu Varu Ratni Kapsuchi Daki Chinyen Gipe Tsunampi Dolar Penjir Sange Chuparsho Sange Churang Soki Choknama Changchu Varu Ratni Kapsuchi Daki Chinyen Gipe Tsunampi Dolar Penjir Sange Chuparsho Sange Churang Soki Choknama Changchu Bardu Dakni Kapsuchi Daki Chunyen Gipe Tsunamki Dolar Penshir Sange Jubarsho. Yay. Refuge and a wish. Okay. Screen sharing. Homework. Okay. Homework dos. Oh, there's the answer. Okay. Why is our book called The Golden Key?
There's no way we'd be able to understand Jason Copper without it.
Yes, but what exactly, how did you put it in the terms of a key? You're right.
That anyone produce the key, whether masters or idiots, it makes it easy for everybody to understand.
To open the door of the treasure chest.
Great, good, Venerable. You take good notes. Okay, yes, because it opens the lock to the treasure house of Jason Copper's work on the Mind Only School. Okay, Tim, now's your time to shine. Who is the golden key designed for?
It's designed for everyone, whether they're masters or not masters, maybe idiots. It doesn't matter. Anyone can use it.
Good. Wise sages and clueless idiots.
K's and kooks.
What's that? Oh no, it was Hmong. They used is K like Kepa and Hmong like dark.
Oh yeah.
Dark. Something like that. Anywho, okay. What are the three processes that were used to write the golden key? What do these processes refer to respectively? Name these three processes in Tibetan. Okay, that's a Tibetan. What are you talking about though?
Cutting, filing, and burning.
Okay. Why would you be cutting a book? Or burning one for that matter. Anybody?
Logic.
To make sure it's gold.
It's the golden key. It's obviously gold. Okay.
Well, the first thing you do is when you examine gold is you melt it.
Thank you, Tim.
And then after that you cut it.
True.
And then after that you file it. And then only then will you know if it's real gold or not.
Yes. There's actually an alternate to this. Isn't there, Geshe-la? Like, don't they say a touchstone sometimes? Is Geshe-la there? Did we lose him?
Yeah, I think I remember in ACI, or whatever it was, he said rub it with a touchstone or something.
Yeah, I hear touchstone sometimes too.
I'm sorry, Word. What were you saying?
Don't they say touchstone sometimes instead of melting or instead of filing, I think?
I don't think so.
I would bet you.
Okay. That'll be the first time I won money from you.
You said it in ACI courses, so I'll use you
Really?
by precedent.
I think I just meant a stone that you file it against or something like that.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, we'll see. Cutting, filing, and burning. Correct. Oh, yeah. And what did each one represent? Does anyone remember?
Direct perception, logic, and scriptural authority.
Which one's which?
I think in the order that you put them, actually. No, switch, burning, and filing, and then that order. Cutting is direct.
Cutting is deduction.
Oh,
Using logic.
Which one's burning?
Logic, I thought. Oh, maybe not.
Cutting is logic.
Makes sense.
Mm,
Filing.
Filing is using authoritative sources.
Yes. And what's burning? What's left?
I don't know.
One left.
Direct perception.
Correct.
Yeah, that's it. Direct perception, collective, and trusted authority. Okay. Did the Tibetan words by default. Thank you. Bets. Okay. And actually, I need some help from our Chinese audience. I have sexy Chinese words.
Oh my God.
So I was looking for these place names on the internet, and I found some possibilities, but I don't know if they're true. This is the probable Chinese pronunciation of these Tibetan words. What fine people in the audience will help me confirm that these are actually places that are in Tibet or West China or something? I'll put them in the chat, and some lovely individual who speaks quite a bit more Chinese than I do can help me. How does that sound, Chinese audience? Stanley. Okay,
I'm thinking.
I'm just gonna put it in there. It doesn't have to happen now because it would take too much time, but I just need help to confirm these places for my footnotes and
Those
such.
are like names of areas.
Yeah, they're place names, so it's just Chineseified Tibetan, I believe, or the other way around, maybe. Who knows? Okay. I'll go in the chat.
Yes, Mr. Maidoni.
Okay. Where's your Michael?
Okay, I'm coming.
Okay.
Now, the pain begins. Right?
When did it end?
We're gonna go back to Jetson Kappa's original auto commentary, right?
Yes, we are.
On the difficult points of the mind-only school. I have to say one thing, if I remember correctly.
Fisher, your screen is not shared.
Oh, sorry. Let's see here. Are we good?
Yes.
Okay, if I remember correctly, the golden key is only 1/3 the size of Tsongkhapa.
That is the case.
So it's possible we're still gonna get lost. Okay.
I think more than possible.
But let's be brave, okay? Let's try.
Yes.
Okay, so what you see here is how far we got into Jetson Kappa's book before we gave up and went to the commentary, The Golden Key. So we're on page, are we on page 182? I guess so, yeah. Oh, because we put it afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good, okay. So now we can take out well, let's leave it to be. We're gonna pick up here on turn 11. Okay, who's correcting word is Stanley Bentley, Buster Bentley.
I'm here.
Okay, Stanley, here we go. Hongzhel, Yingzhel, Chen, Hampo, Dunchi, Tangale.
Let's
Good.
let's leave it there. Gongdelki Del Chen.
The big commentary on the true intent of the Buddha's words.
Yeah, so somebody wrote a huge commentary on the sutra called What I Really Meant. Okay. Who
Hmm.
was that, Stanley?
One tip.
Yeah, Yun Tse.
Yay.
Okay, so here you have some Karpa quoting Yun Tse, okay, which is really cool. And actually, the first time we started this, I didn't find the quotation, and because we've been translating this book in Shenzhen, now I found it. I found the quotation just while Word was doing his homework. Okay,
Cool.
so and what's a bambo?
A section of a book.
Yeah, now Bambo is something important for you guys. When I started ACIP 32 years ago, something, we always put the byte count of the text. So byte count tells you how many what. There's 8 bytes to a word, to a letter, I think, or something like that. So it's very, very precise. If someone changed one letter, we could tell, okay? So in the old days, they didn't have byte counts. So they used Bambo, which is just an artificial length of text, okay? I don't know how many, it's Sanskrit, sheaves, but what's strange about this commentary?
It's huge.
Yeah, it's 2 volumes of the Tengyur. It's 1% of the whole Tengyur. It's probably, I guess, the longest book in the Tengyur. I'm not sure. What else is strange about it?
It's the only Chinese commentary in the Tengyur.
Yeah, it's the only thing in the Tengyur. Tengyur means translated from India. Shastras Chin translated from India. But this one came from China. It was written originally in Chinese, okay? So to say it has Bambos is weird already. You see what I mean? It says this is from the Dunju Tsangam is what?
75th.
Yeah, Bambo 75, okay, of the text. And here comes the quotation. Here we go.
Heine sangye ngangen nende ne lo ni ya lunpe oktu jang chu sempa ludrup ki do de shirab ki parotu chinpa la tenne ten chu nam tse te ndita te shirab ki parotu chinpe ndrelpa tang umala sope pao.
Okay, cool. You can read this. Dene,
Then
sange nyangen le dene.
the Buddha entered his parinirvana,
Yeah, and lo niya.
and 200 years went by.
Good. And after that appeared the Changje Semba,
The Bodhisattva,
Ludru.
Naga Arjuna,
And he ze,
he composed.
good. Shiraki Paratu Chimala Dene, Dode Shiraki Paratu Chimala Dene,
Relying upon the wisdom of the Prajnaparamita,
the Dodes of the Shiraki Paratu Chimala.
sutras of the Prajnaparamita,
Right. He used the great sutras called the Prajnaparamita literature to compose his own tenjas,
classical commentaries.
classical commentaries. These are, for example,
Mhm.
Shiraki Chimbe Japa,
The commentary on the Prajnaparamita,
good, and So some Uma is a nickname for Shiroku, what do you call it? Sashe, Sawashiro. Okay, so sometimes Nagarjuna's great book called Wisdom is just called Middle Way, Middle Way. What's a big evidence of that fact?
Master Chandrakirti named his commentary of that book Entering the Middle Way.
Very good, and I will not pay you because I did not offer any money for that. Okay. Okay, by the way, just while you were doing your homework, I said, oh, I know who this is. This is Yunsa. And let's compare the actual, yeah, here it is. Dene sangi nyangene dene no nyige ne me oktu chaji semalu du gedore shiriki paru chimala dene tenjin nam sete. Shiriki paru chimala devada umana sobawa. It's exactly the same, okay? All right, so you can take this directly from his commentary. All right, I couldn't find it the first time I looked for it. Now suddenly I found it in 2 minutes. So,
See,
by the way, almost the exact same wording is found in this commentary to the Sutra of Samattabhadra or whatever it is. Yeah. See here. Okay, exactly the same wording.
oh,
That may also be by Yunsa, I'm not sure. Okay. All right, let's get down to it.
don't hold off, Geshe-la. We have to get there eventually.
Yeah, okay. Let's read this one word. Dedale.
Dedak le nampar takpe ngowoni pangpe tseni mepe tolraptu tento.
Yeah. Okay. From these books, by the way, is that in the? Oh, we're still in Yunsa. Okay.
Oh,
Deda le number tapping on you bombe seni maybe to tento.
mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have to remember that that's still part of his quotation. Deda le number tapping on you bombe seni maybe to tento. By the way, it's hard to translate the Tibetan of Yunsa into English
Oh,
because it's the translation of Chinese and it's not the translation of Sanskrit. And it's pretty difficult. Okay, so Deda le namatabe ngoni pangbe seni mepitso raptento. Those books of Nagarjuna, right, rejected the idea of an essential nature to things which had been imputed to them, okay? Brahmaks, okay? And by doing so, he presented perfectly the way of thinking that says nothing has any defining characteristic of its own. Okay, but you can taste that it's Chinese translated into Tibetan and not Sanskrit. Okay, it's got some big differences. When you translate Yunsa, you kind of have to have a big coffee and lay back and just open your imagination and translate, and you can do it, but it's more difficult than translating from Sanskrit. Okay. All right. Please read, and Tim is gonna criticize you roundly.
Oh, geez.
all right, Tim, go for it.
Just make an error or two, just for my sake.
Okay, I'll make 2 errors, okay?
Okay.
Here we go. Tene, Hakpe, Klala, Sope, Shung,
Shung.
Taeyang, Takpar, Langte, Chikne, Chikdu, gyu, ching pelte, sangye, mia, nyen, le. You missed it, Tim.
What was it?
Nya, it's nya, not mia.
Ah, yeah, okay.
I'll make another one. Nya, nyen, le, de, ne, lo, gu, gya, lunpa, na, jangchup, sempa, champe, no, de, kong.
Nope, it's Kong. No,
It's going good.
Um,
Kung pat sa mo nge parangelwa la sopa la tenne ten chu nam ze te nenjor chupe sathang u thang tanam paranje pa la sopao.
Okay, cool. I wonder if this is still part of Yunsan. Let me see. Yeah, it's still Yunsa, okay? Word. Okay, don't forget, okay?
We'll mark it.
I think this whole thing is Yunsa. I mean, there's gonna be more and more and more. Maybe it's down to Sheso down here, okay? We'll have to find it, okay?
It is.
But
We did this peripherally, and it was to the Shay because there's two Shays. That's what That's what Jason Kappa said. That Yensa said.
yeah, exactly. Okay. Dene Parpala La Sopa. Who's Parpala?
Arya Deva,
Who is the main student of?
Arya Nagarjuna.
Yeah. He took up those shungs,
The main works of.
Nagarjuna. Okay. And then it chikne chik to gyut.
It passed one by one through the lineage.
Good. And Bell.
And things spread.
Yeah, I mean, like literally more and more words, actually. Okay. Nagarjuna was pretty brief, right?
Yeah.
Then Sangye Nyangen Ledene.
Then the Buddha passing into his holy nirvana, parinirvana.
And once Lo Gugya had Lumba.
And after 900 years had passed.
Yeah. Chandra Semba Chamba.
The Bodhisattva known as Maitreya.
Nice. Used, okay, then do de gomba samongepadoa.
Relied upon those set of commentaries to ascertain the deepest intent.
This might be just the Chinese name for the title of the sutra alone, okay? Do de gong dao, right?
Oh, okay.
Do de gong dao, right?
Yes.
So be careful, okay? It's probably just a Chinese name for Do de gong dao, okay?
Okay.
So he also used the sutra called What I Really Meant, and he'd say his own tencha.
He composed his own classical commentaries.
Right? And this is interesting because one of them is Nelja Chupe Sa.
Is the Yogacharya Bhumi.
Yeah, Yogachara Bhumi, yeah. And Uttanamje.
Discriminating the middle from the extremes.
Yeah, Madhyanta Vibhanga, okay? Etc. He wrote, but by the way, oftentimes the Bhumi series, which is long, like Yogachara Bhumi are attributed to a Sangha.
Yeah.
And it's more often the case that books that Maitreya spoke are attributed to a Sangha, but here you got something by a Sangha attributed to Maitreya, okay?
Yes.
It seems, okay, it seems like, okay. But maybe in China, it was believed that Maitreya helped Asanga with the Bhumi series, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, really defining what the Bhumi series is very complex. And I once figured it out. It's in a footnote somewhere in the Gombar Upsal, I think, okay? Okay. By the way, how about the dating here? We have, I mean, let's compare it to our dating of Maitreya and Asanga. Like, when do we say they wrote those 5 great books?
Circa 350 AD.
Yeah, we estimate 350, and we estimate Nagarjuna at
200.
AD, which makes him, according to our belief, 700 years after the Buddha.
Yeah.
Yunsa dates him 200 years after the Buddha. Okay.
Maybe he meant Jesus.
Jesus was 500 years. Jesus is 500 years after the Buddha.
No,
Nagarjuna was 200 years. Oh yeah, Nagarjuna was 200 years after Jesus. Now, whenever there's a discrepancy in dates involving Nagarjuna, what do people usually say?
Either he never died or he lived a really long time.
Yeah, look, when you're talking about a guy who lived 900 years, it's okay to have a little mess up on the dates, okay? And you know, there's even arguments that Aryadeva wasn't his direct student because he was around for 900 years. Then he didn't really die, right? He just agreed to die, right?
Later grass.
Yeah, okay. Then what happened after Asanga, after Maitreya wrote his Shastras? Well, what happened after that?
Then, we're on, okay. Lopam Tokme Tang Yiknyen Ki Shung De Yang Takpar Lang Ne Raptu Pelte Te Tse Sangye Ki Chu Rochik Pe Tungpa Tang Yupar Mawala Supamento.
Okay, cool. Lopan Togme, the master,
Asanga,
yeah, and his half brother
Stanley Bandhu.
Stanley Bandar, they took up those great books of Master Maitreya and felled them all over the place.
Spread.
Spread them all over the place. In those, now here's the important part, and we're still quoting Yunsa, I think, right?
Yes.
They'd say, in those days, Sangekichu Rochik Ekarasa.
The teachings of the Buddha were but a single song.
Yeah, they were all unified. There weren't these different schools, okay? And there was no disagreement between the guys who said everything is Tomba and the guys who said everything exists, okay?
Yep.
And you see my note here? This is not the Shitamje Yopamawa, okay? You might take it to be that Astivadan, right? Sarvastivadan. This is not Sarvastivadan. This is just Astivadan, okay? All right. And that's a beautiful idea that in those days, there was no big fight between the middle way and the mind only. And in fact, there are bitter arguments about which of the 5 books of Maitreya should be considered middle way and which should be considered mind only, okay? All right. Okay, here we go.
Teacher Lopen Newe Nare Lo Tongi Dunro Tu Ni Sangeki Churok Chiko Te Sunche Ne Ni Trenpa Tang Sharap Keki Kakpe Tongpa Tang Yupar Mawa Nam Jikten Na Gepar Kyorto Sheto Sheo Sheso.
You got 3 quotations. nested here. 3 nested quotations, right? So you still have Yunze talking, okay? And Stanley, it might be helpful to know, you know, he's not quoted much anywhere.
Right.
He's quoted a lot in Yunze, which is named in Korean is Wensek, right? Because he came from Korea.
Yeah,
Tibetan,
could be.
Okay. Say again?
Chinese, Tibetan is Wensek. Korean is
Yeah. Oh, it's one choke or something. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I was playing with it. Sometimes he's called Upanshu. Sometimes he's called Upanshu. And I got the feeling sometimes even Wensek is called this, but I'm confused. Maybe you can find some literature about it. Okay. Maybe Stanley can help you. Anyway, the master called Close Light, okay, Upa and Adshu something, okay, Nare. He said, and this is quoted by
Jason Kappa.
quoting Yunse, quoting Nyewe, okay. Now we got the third guy, okay. He said, Lo tongi dunrul du, okay.
After 1,000 years?
No, dun, mun.
In front of.
Yeah, 1,000 years ago. Okay, 1,000 years ago.
Oh.
Where did we have this dun in Sugang's text?
The 7 that sit in front of Brahma and recite.
Yeah, the guys who sit in front of Brahma. So this means the front side. Okay, so 1,000 years ago, the Sangye Gicha
The
was Rochiko.
single song.
Now, if this guy Nyewe is close in dates to Yunsa, and Yunsa is 1,000, I'm sorry, Yunsa is 700 AD, right? Right, Stanley? 619. We'll call him 700 AD.
Okay.
So 1,000 years before him is in the middle of the Abhidharma days, actually. Okay, something like that. But assuming this person lived at the same time as Yunze, okay? And you guys have to check it out. So 1,000 years ago, the Buddha Dharma was unified, okay? Date Suncheni, after that, Tremba and shared up the qualities of awareness here, okay? Not memory and wisdom. Keiki is an ancient word for Delbor, slowly, okay, gradually. Got.
Appeared.
Yeah, stopped. And then you got, so he seems to say these two guys developed separately. The middle way people and the mind only people talking about emptiness. And now these are like Nick's Hinayana guys. The guys who said everything existed the way the Buddha said so. In this world, Ge-gyur.
They spread.
Yeah, it spread. Okay, now this first Shay is the end of the quotation by
Newe
nice. And this Shay is the end of the quotation by,
Wensek.
and this Shay is the end of the quotation by,
Jason Kappa.
I don't know. I know. I'm sorry. This, yeah, this Shay, yeah, this is Shay. The last Shay is Jetson Kappa quoting Yunse.
Yeah.
This one is Nyewe finishing. Right? And this Shay is people say.
Oh.
Okay. People say. Yeah, okay. All right. Then after that, I found the whole quotation. Here's the whole one from, here's the whole quotation from Yunse, okay? By the way, Why is it in the Tengyur in the Dojo section? Misspelled, by the way.
Why is Yuan Se? Because he's commenting on the sutras, right?
Yeah, he's commenting on a sutra, okay? Which, by the way, has never been that popular.
Mm.
And these books we have by Choni Lama are kind of unusual. You know, we don't get good commentaries on the Heart Sutra or the Diamond Cutter Sutra or stuff like people tend to prefer to do Tengyur commentaries, okay? All right, there's Winthick, okay, 2 volumes. Here's the Tohoku reference, okay?
Uh-huh.
And let's keep going. Now, yay, we finally got to a topic. Please read.
오나 태타의 잼참기 트롭에 타레 종외 권시 당윤이 태지다 쉐나.
Yeah, talk about a clumsy segue. Oops. It's so,
He's like, well then.
okay. Yeah. Okay. What does he say here? Why would Geshe Michael say it's a clumsy segue? And I don't, Tsongkhapa is beyond anything. He just went through a long history of Buddhism.
He just went through a long history of Buddhism, then he just jumps right into
Yeah, he does. Okay.
Kunshi.
Okay. Well then,
Mhm.
if you've got this kind of a drupta, Semsampi drupta, okay, you got this mind-only school. Hey, didn't they talk about Kunshi and Yunyi? Like he's like, oh, didn't they talk about the refrigerator and messed up consciousness? Am I thinking of the same school? Okay.
Mhm.
It's very kind of artificial, okay? By the way, it's less artificial if you kind of admit that Dode Gongdal is an important source for what?
For evaluating all the schools, but especially mind-only school.
Yeah, for the mind-only school, especially the chapter we're working on. In Shenzhen, we're working on that chapter, the mind-only source chapter, okay? So
Awesome.
it's actually not such a jolting segue, okay?
Cool.
Okay, now, Word has cleverly, thank you, inserted the root text that we already translated in the Golden Key. And hopefully Jetson Kappa won't say anything that makes us want to change it. Because that would be a big hassle, okay?
That'd be a tragedy.
Yeah, just because he wrote the root text doesn't mean he can mess with it. Okay, so let's get somebody else to read this. Shinzom, you want to read the English, okay?
Yeah. Oh, I have the view. Sorry. Okay. Use 4 different strategies to understand foundation and negative consciousness, definitions, arguments for their existence, refuting the belief that consciousness can be grouped into 9, and the belief that they can be put into a single group.
Cool. So here we are, we're in the root text of Jetson Kappa that the Golden Key was a commentary on. And now we get to hear Jetson Kappa explain his own book. And
Yeah.
hopefully he won't be so difficult. Okay.
Good luck.
Please, I know he's gonna be. I'm just waiting for him to hit us on the head. Okay, let's go.
Senyi tenla appa tang drupje tang namshi tok gyurndu pa tang sokchik du dupa gakpa te hunshi yi kunshi tang nyunyi shipar chao shindor tenno.
Okay, so word, please repeat for us. What's the connection between this commentary and these verses?
Okay. So this book we're reading now is an auto commentary, meaning it is a commentary that was written by the same author who wrote the root text. So
Yeah, and he probably wrote the root text. He handed it out to all his friends, and they said, "What the hell are you talking about?" And he said, "You know what? I'll write a commentary on my own book." Okay. So, and then that commentary is impossible to read. So then,
Key.
yeah, then the Golden Key was written to explain Judson Kappa's explanation of his own root text. Okay. So Word has, well, we have put the root text in bold as it is woven into the commentary. Okay, so there are going to be 4 strategies for studying these two kinds of consciousness, which are the main difference between the mind-only school and the other schools, who all say 6 consciousnesses. Okay, okay. Tsenyi Tenla Appa.
We will put forth definitions.
Good, good. Yep, we'll tell you the definitions, mainly of what?
Kunshi Tang Nyunyi.
Which is?
Foundation consciousness, where the seeds are kept and ripen, and negative consciousness, which helps us to have all our mental afflictions.
What's the, now, because it's so cool, what's the relationship between them?
Well, there's 2 parts of the kunshi. There's the stored seeds, and then there's the ripened seeds. The nyunyi, which is our 7th consciousness, looks at the ripened part of the kunshi, which is our experience of the world, and say, hey, that's me, without knowing that there's a kunshi at all.
Okay, good. So basically, there's a, what do you call it, storehouse consciousness. And then another part of our mind misunderstands it. Okay, so we're talking about the refrigerator where all the seeds are kept, and then the part of our mind that misunderstands the refrigerator, okay, how the refrigerator works. And if you got rid of those 2, sorry, if you got rid of especially the negative consciousness, then when you walked into the kitchen and your husband yelled at you, you would understand that you are watching something happening in your own mind. So in this school, it's even crazier to blame the husband because he's part of your refrigerator. Okay, he's not even out there in a way. Okay, okay. So first we have the definition of these 2 guys. Then we're gonna have
Arguments.
our proofs for the existence of these 2. Then we're gonna, and we have to distribute the word Gakpa from down below, okay?
Okay.
We're gonna Gakpa number 3 and we're gonna Gakpa number 4, okay?
We're going to refute the idea that there could be 9 consciousnesses.
Instead of
8.
8, okay, and?
We're going to refute the idea that there could be a single consciousness.
Yeah, or like a group, a singular group. Okay, a singular group, one group that's so united that it's only one thing, okay? Chikta Gakpate. In these 4 ways, Tunshi, we can shepa,
Come to know.
yeah, these 2 kinds of consciousness that are only accepted by the mind-only school, okay? And this whole thing is a doten.
is a presentation of sutra.
Yeah, so, no.
Presentation.
Yeah, this is a brief presentation, okay? I'm just telling you, there's two extra consciousnesses, and here's how we're gonna understand them. Now, I finished the easy part, you guys, and we're gonna go to Geba Sheba.
The extensive explanation.
Yeah, and let's talk about the first one, which is those definitions we promised you. We promised you definitions of these two states of mind, right? All right, please read.
Didn't I read that part? Oh, okay.
Oh, you know what?
I'm
This
not-
should come after the verse, right? Oh, no, sorry. Tsongkhapa puts the commentary before the verse.
yeah, I think he does it a couple times.
Okay, good. Let's let him do what he wants to. He's the boss of our lineage.
Okay.
Okay, please read.
당보 세니라 군시 당 윤이 기 세니 텐라 아빠 니 군시라 텐투 큐르판 남민 기 군시 당 텐파 사분기 군시 세니 니 제 둔빠니.
Okay, let's go to the first discussion we promised you, which was Sheni Tenla Appa, right?
Yep.
Here's the definitions of those two states of mind, okay? Well, of these two that we're gonna tell you, okay, these two definitions, when we talk about kunshi, we talk about it in two parts. Okay, we're gonna have to define the two different parts of it. One part is the ten.
The basis.
Yeah, which is what has already ripened. So I like to call it the refrigerator itself, okay? Yeah. And then there's the tempa.
The thing supported by the basis.
Yeah, so those of you just tuning in, this is a, what do you call these things? Cup,
Costa.
Yeah,
Coaster. Yeah. So you put the coaster there and you put the cup on top of the coaster, okay? So in Tibetan, this is spelled RTEN, and it means the thing which is doing the supporting. And then this called the watermelon glass juice glass is called Temba, Brtemba, BRTENPA, different spelling. So this is called ten, and this is called Temba. The ten in this case, the word is the,
written.
yep, what is it?
It's, if it was a fridge, it would be the fridge itself.
Yeah, it's the refrigerator. And then the Temba is what?
It's the shelves in the fridge.
No, it's not. It's all the yummy stuff in the fridge.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is what? Which is what?
which is the seeds yet to be
Yeah,
ripe.
the karmic seeds. Okay. And this is really fits kind of like the, anyway. So it's interesting. What's really interesting is that the seeds that are in the refrigerator, I don't know. It's like the milk spilled in the refrigerator and got hard and became part of the refrigerator. It became part of the wall of the refrigerator. So things that you put in the refrigerator, seeds tend to become the warehouse later, storehouse. Okay, got it? Okay, after they ripen. Temba samagi kunchi. Teni che temba ni.
That's a quote. Like that's what the teaching says.
Well, no. In order to demonstrate these two definitions, I'm going to give you the next verse. Okay, that's what this means. Okay,
7 o'clock. Again,
are we out of time?
Yeah,
unfortunately.
we're out of time.
Okay, wait, somebody has to read this. Who's out there that is fun? Yi, are you gonna read this? Oh, wait, Jenny, you gotta read this.
Okay. Of the two definitions, that of a foundation, consciousness is accepted as coming in two directions, that of the basic and that of what this basic supports.
Right, so he says, when I define storehouse consciousness, I'm gonna do it in two parts. One is gonna be, what's being, I can't see myself, what's being supported, and then what's being the support, okay? The refrigerator and the seats, okay? Yay! Now, as Word knows, that's like the easiest part of the whole commentary, and the rest is gonna be 1,000 times harder. I'm actually scared to read his commentary. Okay, we gotta be brave, right?
Yes, Ninko.
Okay, you gonna sushi me?
Yes, sir. Sashibugeki. Ewadi. Suna.
Yay!
Yay. Thank you,
Yay.
Word. Thank you, Geshe-la.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Geshe-la.
Word.
Thank you, Geshe-la. Thank you, Geshe-la.
Thank me later. I'm gonna run away from this book.
We have a Q&A coming up. We changed the schedule a little bit, just for those of you who are interested. Ben Kramer is going to lead tonight. So take advantage of this opportunity to ask him hard questions.
Yay.
Must see TV, as they say.
ETV.
Okay, good night, you guys. Have a good
Thank you.
vacation.
Whoa,
Bye.
vacation.
Don't eat too much.
Hey, I can't help you there. Sorry, I didn't hear you. The thing shorted out.
Okay, have a good vacation.
There will actually be yoga tomorrow if anyone's interested. Anatol's going to give the class.
Hey, we're on vacation.
I know, it wasn't my bright idea.
Mantra.
Ayo Yuta.
Anatol's class is like a really hard vacation.
Yao